Mr. Honorable Alan Chairman saying, but what did it mean for you, Christian Atsu's life? What did it mean for you?
He was a national hero based on what he delivered to the nation through his exploits on the football field. He sold Ghana's name far and wide. He supported the Black Stars to achieve laurels. And Ghana is very proud of its Black Stars. So he's a national hero. And once that happened, we were all shocked. Yeah. Yes.
How much of a loss do you think this will be for Ghana football?
Well, it's a loss. Any loss is a loss. You can't quantify, first of all, the loss of a human life at so young an age. So many people have been deprived. His immediate family have been deprived. His wider family have been deprived. And the nation has been deprived. If something else happens to another person, the same emotion will arise. So generally, it's a very painful situation for the people of Ghana.
Well, finally, just before we let you go, you've already shown support for this 1 week celebration. The funeral has been set for March 17. What are some of the preparations that we're going to see before the funeral date?
Well, obviously, it's within the jurisdiction of the family. The best we can do is that when we are available, we will come and support the family on March the 17th. We hope we will be available at that time, and we will support the family.
Thank you so much, Honorable. Right, so that was Honorable Yaboabi Asamoah there speaking to us. There's been quite a number of people who are here just to commiserate with the family of Christian Atsu. It's a huge loss for Ghana football, and there are many football personalities here. I mean, Christian Atsu's former club, Cheetah FC, have represented in their numbers. Also, one of the teams he played at a very young age in Accra North have also represented in their numbers. Abdulhai Yate, who took care of Christian Atsu for a really long time, is also here. So there are many dignitaries who are here to just commiserate with the family, share their condolences, and just honor Christian Atsu's life in many ways. He's a huge national hero. Christian Atsu played 65 times for the Black Stars. He scored 9 goals, and he has been an incredible figure for Ghana football. And so we'll be taking you around the funeral grounds. We'll be taking you around just to show you how many people are here and the number of people who have made their way into the 1 week celebration here at the Adjiringanor AstroTurf. It's a big celebration of life, really, for Christian Atsu. You know that Christian Atsu was a huge philanthropist. He took care of so many people. He took out so many people from prison. He took care of ex-convicts. He reintegrated many of them as well. And so there are many people here whose lives have been touched one way or the other by Christian Atsu. And so it's a huge celebration, really, of life, of Christian Atsu's life. And so I think that the many people who are here are all people who are just here to honor the life of Christian Atsu and to see to it that he gets that befitting burial that he deserves. And so, Aniela, that's just about it here at the at the Adjiringanor AstroTurf, where Christian Atsu's 1 week celebration is.
He's a good footballer. He has made a lot of us happy when playing football and scoring goals for us. That was the thing that inspires.
Following the tragic passing of the Ghanaian international footballer Christian Atsu, it emerged that a mural has been created at the Awudu Isaka Park, Tema, in memory of the playmaker. The incredible art piece is the brainchild of lab-based artist Deaf Art GH.
The next move is, I think, it's East Legon, a school at East Legon. Within the week, we go and attack the wall with Atsu's image. We are doing it from our heart. The materials is coming from our side. We are willing to do more if we get walls outside, on the street, closer to places where people pass, and then people will love to take photos of the late Atsu. Even children will know a bit about him.
The gifted artist and his team say they are willing to create more murals across the country to celebrate the life of the late footballer for his impact on society.
The wall should be nice, should be sweet, should be bigger. At least when an artist has a big size of a wall or a canvas, he expresses himself well, so it should be a little bigger.
Ofoi Arts, born Michael Ofoi McCarthy, is one of the 5 talented artists who created the widely admired painting.
And also, we are looking forward to the 1 week of Christian Atsu. We are also looking forward to do a very big artwork to work over there. We are just looking for the wall.
The life of Christian Atsu has been felt by all across the world, not just in Ghana, and not even just in the football fraternity. We are seeing artists with their murals and their work paying tribute to Christian Atsu, and in the football realm as well, we also saw a number of clubs observe a minute of silence for Christian Atsu, and it's still ongoing. It continues. But well within the Ghanaian fraternity, former president of the Ghana Football Association, Kwesi Nyantakyi, also shared his views on the life of Christian Atsu.
Well, he was a very disciplined chap, very committed and very dedicated. He gave his all to the Black Stars. A selfless member of the team, and I describe him as a true statesman. He distinguished himself in every match that he got the opportunity to play. And the 2015 AFCON, he was voted the best player. We have lost him, but we can never forget Atsu. Atsu lives in our memory forever and ever. Thank you. You're welcome.
The message is clear. A true hero lives in our lives forever. Absolutely. But still in the spirit, we're getting a sense of how he's never going to be forgiven and forgotten. Sorry, excuse me. He's never going to be forgotten because his life is an exemplary one. But we'll also be bringing you former coach of the Black Stars, Kwasi Appiah. He also shared his views on the life and legacy of Christian Atsu.
This has been a very sad news to all of us, especially you were very close to him. You in a way discovered him into the Black Stars. Today being the day which everybody mourns him, what do you make of this day?
It's really, really unfortunate. We never expected something like this, and it's the first time an active player, has had such an incident. And because of his social life, especially, all Ghanaians feel that this is the time that we should show appreciation for what he did for Ghana. So today is marking one of the days, the sad days of everybody's life, for saying that you go this way.
Over to Yao Ofusulabi, who is stationed at the Adjiringanor AstroTurf.
He has to take care of other issues, but he promised that he was going to be he is going to be at the funeral of Christian Atsu on March the 17th at the forecourt of the State House, and so that's what's going to happen. But joining me now is Abdul Hayate, who was a really close figure to Christian Atsu during his playing days, particularly when he played here in Ghana, and he just want to say a few things about Christian Atsu and his life. Hi, thank you so much for joining us on TV3. You have spoken on many platforms about Christian, but today what you've seen, how would you evaluate everything you've seen today?
Well, I think Christian should be very proud wherever he is. He's lifted the world to their feet. Everybody is here. Former GFA president, the Minister of Youth and Sport, the president of the land actually is very interested in the burial of the boy. And I think Christian have made all of us proud. Like the slogan say, your legacy lives on. I think his legacy is living on.
Yeah. How about the family? How they taking it?
Well, it's not a good thing when you lose a loved one, not just a loved one, but somebody who is very dear to you, somebody who is very generous, who have lived the image of the family up. Is not a good thing. But I believe that they are also very proud of what Christian have done, and then the name that he's given to the family.
Right. Thank you so much, Abdul. Thanks. So that was Abdul Hayati there, who particularly took care of Christian Atsu in his early days as a footballer, and really when he was a boy. His club, that's the Cheetah FC Football Club, was where Christian Atsu played just before he left the shores of Ghana to play at FC Porto. He is a huge figure in Christian Atsu's life, and one who has been very, very instrumental in what Christian Atsu became as a footballer in this country. But also joining me now is one of the supporters union heads, Apirugu Chakapama, and Apirugu is joining me right here on Warmer Plus. Apirugu, you're welcome to TV3.
Yeah, thank you.
Right. So you supported Atsu, you watched him in many stadiums across the world. How much of a loss do you think this will be for Ghana?
Well, very big, major. But God brought Atsu to the world to come and help us in terms of football, in terms of donations and what have you. If he didn't bring him to the world, to what are we going to say? He brought him to the world. Now he have taken him from the world. So we'll give bigger respect to God, but it is bitter, honestly. I know Atsu, I know him well. The first time when he was called to the national team, I was a photographer. I took him a picture and then I filmed it and I gave it to Atsu. And since then, me and him, the friendship between us grew. We've gone to so many tournaments. Atsu have done so many things for me. It is very difficult, but let's leave the rest to the Almighty God.
I see also that the supporters union are here in their numbers. I mean, the funeral date has already been announced. That's the 17th of March. What are we to expect from your people?
Well, we are coming in numbers. Most of our people didn't come. Some of them are Kumasi, northern region places, but for the funeral we are coming massively.
Thank you so much, Apirugu. Right, so that was Apirugu Chakapama also speaking to us here on Warmer Plus, and we are here from the Adjiringanor AstroTurf, where the 1 week celebration of life for Christian Atsu is happening at the moment. And as you can see right here, the supporters union have already started some Jama session in honor of Christian Atsu. It's a huge celebration right here of Christian Atsu's life, and people are here in their numbers. Former president of the Ghana Football Association, Kwesi Nyantakyi, has been here. Former coach of the Black Stars, Kwasi Appiah, has also been here. Kurt Okraku is here, as well as the GFA Communications Director. The General Secretary of the Ghana Football Association is also here. And so they're all here in their numbers, really, just to honor the life of Christian Atsu and show him some love. The family needs it, the whole of Ghana needs it, and it's a huge loss for Ghanaians, really. And so Christian Atsu's life is something that has hurt many people. He was a philanthropist. He was one of the people who dedicated his lives to help prisoners anytime they get out of prison and they finish their sentences. He was the man who reintegrated them properly. And so it's a huge loss to Ghana and a huge loss to football in the country. Right, so we're still here at the Medina AstroTurf, where we are bringing you live pictures from the celebration of Christian Atsu's life, and it's a 1 week celebration, really. The funeral date has been set for March 17, 2023. That's when the funeral will be done at the forecourts of the State House. Also joining me this morning is Gary Al Smith, my colleague journalist, and he's also here to join in the commiserations to the family and stuff like that. Gary, I mean, you have also covered Atsu on many platforms. You've watched him in many stadiums. First of all, what kind of a person was he?
Well, there isn't much to say about Christian that hasn't already been said. For me, it's personal for everybody in a different way. I watched his first match for the Black Stars. I was there when he mesmerized all of us. So you just play back those memories. I was there, AFCON 2015. I was there in the stadium when he scored that spectacular goal that won him the goal of the tournament. I covered that tournament. And as for his humanitarian side, it came to me as a surprise, like it came to many people. I did not know about that, to be honest, until I heard it later, a couple of years ago, maybe the last 2 years, through the Crime Check Foundation. But for all intents and purposes, the good that he did has followed him to wherever he is right now, and he only left us lessons, good ones. So that's what I can say about that. Wow. As for what we are seeing now, I think it's a celebration, a chance to celebrate our culture as well, and it's been absolutely amazing. It's been good to see the great and the good of society also come here, from the GFA president, the sports minister, the former president Nyantakyi, former trade minister Adjiringanor, and the great and the good of society have been here as well. Speaks to the man. He lived only 31 years, but well, he probably did in 3 lifetimes what some of us have done. Yeah.
Most definitely. Now, I mean, for Ghana football as well, because for someone with a huge talent and resource like Atsu, you would have wanted him to stay a bit longer just to impart on some of the lives of young footballers. It's a huge loss.
Big. They don't call you Ghana Messi for nothing, you know. From the very beginning, the nickname he was given suggested the kind of talents that he had, and he showed it. We have now heard stories. Abraham Grant spoke to my media house and said that he took Christian even when the management of the Black Stars did not want to, because remember, Christian was injured at the time, but he forced Christian to go, and he was player of the tournament. We have also heard that even at this World Cup, Andre Ayew told me and Maurice Kwanzaa and William Ezah of GNA in Qatar. Andre told me, this was in November, that if he had his own way, Christian would have gone to the World Cup. And this is when Christian was not playing top-level football. So, as for his talent, it was there to be seen. And it was a big loss also. Now we know, we did not know, that he was helping so many other younger footballers, and he will be missed.
Jerry, thank you so much for joining us. And so this is Warmer Plus right here on TV3. We are still coming to you live from the Adjiringanor AstroTurf, where Christian Atsu's 1 week celebration is happening. As I mentioned earlier, quite a number of dignitaries have been here. The former president of the GFA president himself, and his entourage, really, and also the former trade minister, as well as other members of parliament who have been here to commiserate to the family. And already over here as well, at this moment, the members of the Adjiringanor Traditional Council have also arrived here at the grounds where the 1 week celebration of Christian Atsu is happening. Don't forget also that the funeral itself would happen at the forecourt of the State House on the 17th of March, on the 17th of this month, right here in 2023. And so it's certainly going to be a huge deal, where there will be so many footballers, so many football administrators, and so many people who Atsu touched their lives will also be there just to support the family, to celebrate the life of Christian Atsu. At 31 years, Atsu did so much for many people across the country, and particularly across the world, because we've seen some of the humanitarian work he did for people in Nigeria and also in Cameroon and many other parts of the world, really. So Christian Atsu was just much more than the normal person, and much more than the archetypal footballer. He was different, he was loved by many people, and as you can see behind me, the many people who are here just to support the family shows you how much of a person that Christian Atsu was. So we're still here. I mean, it's a huge celebration. Many people are still thronging in, and we'll bring you more updates as and when we get them.
That he left behind, and I think we should do everything best to continue. Everybody is talking about it. You know, he was a special talent. But what you hear people talk about now is the life he lived as a person, and what he gave to Ghana here. So hopefully we can find a way to continue all the good work that he did.
Now also for the kind of footballer he was, it's always good when you have special players like Atsu. I mean, he's not called the Ghanaian Messi for nothing. And so if he had lived longer, he would have imparted his skills on many young footballers. It's a loss for young footballers.
That is true. And again, if you want a definition of a real Ghanaian footballer, I think you look at Christian Atsu. You know, full of skills and trickery and dribbling abilities. That's what the Ghanaian footballer is known for. And for us, I think it demonstrates the profile that moving forward we should look to develop in our country. But you're right, it's a big loss for us, and hopefully we can produce more good talent and good people like Atsu was for us.
Faisal, thank you so much. And so this is still Warmer Plus right here on TV2. We just spoke to Faisal Chipsa, who is also here to commiserate to the family as well. There are many other people who have filled in the tent on my left side, the tent on my right side, as well as on my extreme right as well. Many people are still here. Quite a number of dignitaries have left actually, but many of them are still also here, right here at the Adjiringanor AstroTurf. Okraku Ampofo has also joined me. Okraku, I mean, you are here to celebrate the life of Christian Atsu. You and I have covered Atsu on many occasions. This is a huge loss for Ghana.
It is, and you can see by the attendance here, the type of ceremony that he's having, how important he was to the Ghana community, even beyond football. And you're looking at the various groups, associations who are here to pay their last respects to one of Ghana's best footballers, Christian Atsu. I think it's just a testament of the type of person that he was, and indeed it's going to be a true a hole that we may never be able to fill, the void that would be so deep in our whole community, looking at the people dependent on him. But it is my hope that bringing these stories to light and what he has done would be able to touch the hearts of other people out there, to be able to stretch out a hand of help to some of the people that he used to help to as well. Right.
But I mean, Okraku, as Ghanaians, do you think we did enough for Christian Atsu, when he was alive and everything?
Well, it's always a tricky subject, isn't it? Because if you speak to the people close to Christian, I remember when I went to Senyabreku, to the Becky's Foundation, where he adopted, because he was an ambassador for Arms Around the Child. And I was speaking to the director of the orphanage, and he was saying that, Atsu was one guy that never wanted any of these stuff out, and he was doing so much for them. Whenever he's coming for trips from the UK, he's bringing them about 50 bags of rice, he's bringing them new clothes. All these children, there are about 50 children or so, he's bringing all of them new clothes, he's bringing them food stuff. He takes them to, I think that the last time that he took them to an excursion was last year, when they went to the mall around Kaswa, West Coast Mall, and they went to watch a movie, they bought popcorn, they got drinks, and all this for like 50 children. And so he's doing all of this. When he's leaving, he leaves with a huge sum of money to take care of the children. So these are stuff that he was doing for the children, but the director mentions that he never wanted it out. And so you would never see a picture of Atsu standing with the children, this whole excursion stuff. No one would have ever known it happened. And it's just the type of person that he was. And I'm sure with this other project as well, he probably didn't want it out. But it's a case where, if the main perpetrator doesn't want his deeds out, then I'm afraid that our hands are tied. And people maybe perhaps they didn't know these were the lens that Atsu was going to help people out there. But I think in the end, now that he's gone and some of these stuff are out, I still think that, that's the way to go. Because I know some of the Black Stars players, they are doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and they also do not want to know. It's just the way people are. And with a good deed, there are two ways to look at it. It's either people are helping for the mass, to look good in the faces of people, or they're helping genuinely because it's from their heart. Atsu was on the other end, and he didn't really want people to know. So it's a tricky one to assess, because Ghanaians as a whole did not know, and so they might not have celebrated him enough. But I've been impressed with the reception after they found out with some of the stuff that he's done.
Now with the Black Stars as well, he played 65 times, scored 9 goals. Was that really what the best outputs that you could have given in the Black Stars?
Well, for Atsu, I always had that criticism. I know when he was playing, I always said I thought Christian could have scored a lot more goals because he always gets into good enough positions, but it's always a little bit of issue with his decision making that I thought that was one area that he could have improved. Of course, no footballer is perfect, and I think that in the end, he was a great player, and what he brought to the Black Stars, numbers cannot quantify, because he came in at a time where I think the team had missed a dribbler, a sort of player who demanded the ball and could create magic from nothing. I think the last player before Atsu who was maybe doing anything similar was Abedi Pele, and so in the 2000s we didn't see anybody who really comes, gets the ball, beats 1 or 2, 3 players. Maybe the closest I can remember is Quincy Owusu-Abeye. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but he was just full of pace, not a lot of trickery. But Atsu would actually leave his man for good with skill and, panache. So I think that he filled that void. He came in, brought a lot of joy for fans. I remember in the game against Lesotho when he came on, and whenever he touched the ball, fans were amazed and were shouting. That's the type of profile that I think that the Black Stars missed. And so beyond the numbers, beyond the goals and assists, it was just the type of player.
Mark Mensah treks the streets of Accra selling his wares every day. He is mostly on the western stretch of the capital along the Accra-Cape Coast Highway. He meanders through the vehicles and traffic just to find one person, or maybe two, to buy his wares. This was not his life before, but he prefers it to his previous life in prison. Mark was a young man living in a palm and selling drugs before he was nabbed by the police and sentenced to 4 years in prison. He served the full term before he met Christian Atsu. Getting released from prison and reintegrating back into society is always a big task. But it was Christian Atsu's dream and vision to help many of these prisoners and ex-convicts get back into society the best way possible. Mark is a living example of this. Through Christian Atsu's reintegration process, he's been able to make a living for himself after he was released from prison in 2019. Atsu collaborated with the Crime Check Foundation to reintegrate ex-convicts, decongest prisons, and reduce recidivism. In Mark's case, it was the late footballer who provided for him to start up a new life as a free man.
Christian Atsu's passing made me cry. I was very sad because Atsu is the reason why I am in Accra. Atsu is the reason why I have a place to stay.
In all, Atsu paid the fines of 113 petty offenders to get them out of jail. He also successfully reintegrated 46 ex-convicts. 2 of these families benefited from him by getting support for their children to keep them in school. He understood the pain of being brilliant but needy. Atsu also championed the passing of the non-custodial sentencing bill.
There are a lot of injustice going on, and
I just want justice to prevail in the country.
Justice and Juma.
It was his dream that petty offenders would not have to go through the ordeals of being in prison or made to pay hefty fines. Ibrahim Kwating heads the Crime Check Foundation.
His joy was to see these brothers and sisters leave prison and then get something to do. So under our ex-convict reintegration project, he reintegrated most of these people into society by giving them trading capital, as in the case of Mark, for instance, who sells on the streets. So there are many people like Mark who are ex-convicts, but who have not re-offended because Christian got something for them to do.
Atsu's passing will be a big loss to many. The many he had started reintegrating, and the many more who depend on him, Mark inclusive.